Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another weekly episode, and today, I don't know, it should be kind of a quick one. I always say that in the beginning of episodes, and it never ends up being a quick one, but seriously, it should be kind of a quick one. I don't have a lot, but what I've got is very cool. So, a couple Ultra Reds checked off the list. I got in a trade from at Auto World Collector, I think is his Instagram name. I think I'll tag him in the. I tagged him in a post on Instagram. Chris Moody. I think it's also Chris Moody Designs or something like that. Anyway, I'll try to get him in the description of the video so you can check him out on Instagram. Traded me this guy. This is the last one I needed for 2020 Release 3. So that's fantastic. Finally checked this Mustang off of the list. So I'm happy about that. And then I got this guy, which is also, doesn't really look like it, but it is an Ultra Red. This is a hobby exclusive release. This one's actually pretty rare. The regular versions are limited to 1,800 pieces. And yeah, so these are not very easy to come by. And it's kind of an odd one because as you can see, it doesn't look very Ultra Reddish. But I'll show you that. We are going to open up this. We're not going to open up this one because this will go in a different video when we do the complete 2020 Release 3 video, where I will show you that whole series. But this one we will open up, and I'll show you what makes this a chase, and we'll discuss this color swatch Barracuda a little bit more in depth in the second half of the video. All right, then I got a couple of items from Japan, and that would be these guys right here. Ferraris, Ferrari 412s, an oddball kind of Ferrari for Tomica Limited Vintage Neo to do. And one's in black and one's in blue, and we will check out both of them. I have not pulled these out of the package yet, so I'm excited to do that. So a couple of Ferraris, which are always fantastic to get. Very pricey to get, but yeah. Anyway, so there's those. I also got a couple of other things. I got a couple of Tomica, two more Tomica Limited Vintage. I couldn't decide whether to get white or black of this 180SX. This is a brand new casting from Tomica Limited Vintage Neo, as well as that Ferrari is. But I got these two, so one in black and one in white. I couldn't decide which one to get, so I ended up picking up both of them. And, I'm kind of excited to check those out too. I have not opened the boxes yet on these either, so I have not looked at them at all. We'll get to discover them together. So that's cool. And then a couple of Tomica Premiums. We're going right down the line. This is a Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR and a Nissan Skyline 2000 Turbo GTES. Both of these, I think, are relatively new Tomica Premium castings. Pretty sure they are anyway. But we're going to go ahead and open up these as well and check those out in the second segment. And then we got a Ferrari SF90 Stradale in a Tomica Basic range. So that's pretty cool. So we got the Basic, we got the Premium, we got the Ultra Premium Limited Vintage, and then the way pricey Premium Tomica Limited Vintage Neo Special Box Ferrari things. Then we got a couple of Ultra Reds, and I think that's it. I'm just kind of looking here. Yeah, there's a couple items in here we could open, but I don't think we're going to. It's stuff I've already shown in a previous video, but yeah, that's it. We do, however, I have my monthly meet is, well, today, if you're watching this on Saturday. So when I go to that, I'm sure I'm going to pick up a lot of cool stuff. So I should have a bunch of cool stuff to show you next week. But let's go ahead and flip the camera around. Let's take a look at this Tomica Limited Vintage stuff. We'll talk some Auto World shop. And yeah, no Hot Wheels this week. Sorry, guys. Sorry, you Mattel brand fans. Just nothing this week. I didn't find anything. So, and by the way, yeah, now, and we're going to have some turmoil coming up, honestly. With the prices of shipping containers and all this stuff, I know you've probably seen a lot of stuff. If you're in maybe hobby dealer groups and stuff like that on Facebook, you've probably seen a lot of price increases that are coming down the line for a lot of die-cast manufacturers. So it's gonna have kind of a bad effect for, you know, a while. If you walk down your Walmart aisle, you probably noticed that it's pretty skeletal. It was looking promising there for a minute because it looked like they were doing a reset and they were putting out a bunch of new stuff and yada, yada, yada. Now you walk down that aisle and it's barren. At least in my area it is, and I'm guessing it's like that for a lot of you. You know, comment down below. Let me know what your area looks like right now as far as die-cast stock. But yeah, there's going to be some, it's hard to get stuff. Shipping's really expensive, I guess, right now for hobby dealers to get stuff, and in particularly for anybody to get containers shipped from overseas. It's very, very expensive right now in comparison to where we were a year ago. So yeah, that's what I've heard anyway. I'm not an expert on this, but yeah, it's going to have an effect, okay? So there may be some weeks where I don't have much to show you, and that might be because there's really not that much coming out. We'll just have to kind of see how things go, and, you know, hopefully we'll be back to normal soon. All right, so anyway, I'm going to flip the camera around. Let's take a look at this stuff and stay tuned. All right, so let's start this second segment by taking a gander at this Auto World Ultra Red. I don't know. Could you really even call this an Ultra Red? Actually, yes, I believe you can, and I'll show you how that makes sense here in a second. So this is an odd release, okay? This is it says on the bottom here, special edition, because this was a hobby exclusive. Not particular to any hobby dealer like you typically see now, but this was like an Auto World store sold these. Hobby dealers could order this stuff in straight packs, and that's just how they were sold. And yeah, oh, and I realized this has the annoying tie down. Ugh. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. All right, so this is version B. The card is version B. The car goes after the version A scheme. Anyway, so here you go. This will paint a picture for you. But this is the version A. Okay, so this is how the car would look normally. Now you see some differences right in the package, right? So there's a red interior on this one. There's a white interior on the one in the package. Also a regular base, and then there's a white base on the bottom of this. Now the white base and the white interior, that's the easiest way to tell that you've got yourself a chase when the car is packaged and when you're looking for these on eBay. Really, the regular color swatch Barracudas can kind of demand a premium as well on eBay, not just the chase. So, and I dropped that sucker, sorry. But yeah, very, very cool when Auto World decided to put this out. But it wasn't the first release of this color swatch. Here's the version B, by the way. So this is the one that matches the card that you see up there, right there. So this is the one that matches that. So they also put out in, what was it, 2017 Premium Release 3, they put out a color swatch car. Here it is. Very similar, but they are different. As you can see, there's different colors involved here. Very, very close, but very different. Here was the alternate version for that release, just in black. And then the Ultra Red for that release was this thing right here. Very obvious that this was a chase. Different shades of red. There is an Ultra Red, actual Ultra Red shade that's right in the front here. The rest of it, though, is just different kind of shades of red. Then it goes to black. And this one also has a white base. It does have a red interior, just like the regular car, though. So there's that. So let's go ahead and open this one up and just see. So this was kind of a weird thing for, I guess, it's a weird thing for Auto World to do because it really wasn't, Ultra Red is not the dominant color. And this is on a very good card, but we don't really care about that here, do we? This one's got only the tie down on the back wheel. That was the other weird thing, is these came tied down, which means we need to get, my favorite way to do this is just to cut this off. That makes it the easiest, I think. I'm not sure why they had to do this. It had to do probably something to do with the deco. shit. And these are, oops, I'm sorry. Shoot. These are hard to get out of here. All right, well, I'm going to do that off camera because I'm going to probably do something stupid and make a mistake here on camera, and I don't want to rip this wheel off. These are a nightmare to get out of here, mainly because the wheel sits so far into the wheel well. All right, so here you go. The Ultra Red traits of this one: white interior, white base. We will look under the hood. So one of the things, if you look under the hood, the car is actually painted Ultra Red. It's Ultra Red right here in the front. You can see it up in the front. It is Ultra Red. If you look around like the edge of the base, edge of the base of the body, it is also Ultra Red. And then they put the graphic over the top of the Ultra Red. So that's how it is. But it is a chase car. It's a tough one to find. I am glad to finally check this one off the list. These came out in 2017, so this has been, it's been a while. 4 years ago this came out, basically. But there you have it. Other than that, it's the same. You can tell the difference when you look at the front. Oh, they've got Ultra Red stuff here in the front. Other than that, it's the same colors. Of course, the interior is a different color. On the back, you really can't tell much, but on the bottom, white base. So that's kind of how you tell the difference. But anyway, I'm very happy to check it off the list. I just got to get that thing out of there. Came with a box. We love that. I don't think this one fits in the box. It might. We'll check that out a little bit later. But yeah, there you have it. I still think this is one of the cooler Ultra Reds that's ever existed. Is this one right here. Big fan of that one. Really cool. But really cool to check off that other one. All right. Next, what should we do next? Should we go... Let's start with basic Tomica and then work our way up to the Tomica Limited Vintage. How's that sound for today? So if you're not familiar with basic Tomica, it is what it is. It's basic. Some basic Tomica can be found at Walmart. I don't think you'll ever find the Ferrari stuff at Walmart. They really select weird cars to put out at your Walmart. And I'm not sure they're licensed to sell these Ferraris, like technically in the U.S., which is why I get them from overseas. I guess we'll just leave that like that. Here's a look at the box. It's in 1/62 scale, technically. You got your official Ferrari licensing. That sticker alone has to cost a little bit. Number 120. I do save the boxes, why not? And then this is the Stradale SF90. So these have metal bodies, plastic bases, generic wheels, plastic wheels. Typically they will have some suspension to them. Sometimes they will have inserted details for headlights or taillights. This does have the inserted detail for the taillights. So they're very nice basic cars. I will say that. They're quite nice. And I don't get all of them when they come out, all the sports cars that they come out with. But, I do tack them on to my orders quite a bit because they're not very expensive. I think when I get these from Hobby Link Japan, I think they're like $3. And that's not a bad price, I think, for this car. So it's kind of neat. Definitely cool. Paint quality is really, really nice on these. Always, pretty much. I don't think I've ever had one with issues. So their quality control is quite good. So from there, we're going to go to the Premium Series. We've got two Skylines to look at. I'll start with the, the Ken Mary. Mary Ken. Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR KPGC 110, number 17. They do always put scale on here, and these do typically run a little bit bigger than 164. This is 161 scale according to the packaging. So we'll go ahead and open it up. And there it is. Looking pretty nice. So yeah, Tomica Premium, if you're not familiar with this, typically plastic bases, plastic tires, but the wheels are not generic. They're legit replicas. Some inserted details for headlights or taillights. We get both here on this one. The doors open on this model. A lot of the times they will have an opening feature. Most often it is the doors that open, but sometimes it's some other things. Sometimes they have pop up and down headlights. Sometimes they have, opening engine compartments, all sorts of different stuff. This one's got the doors. It does look pretty good. So they are larger typically than 1/64 scale, but they are proportioned well, and they typically do look pretty good. They kind of bridge a line between being a toy and a collectible. They're made very durable. They're very heavyweight, even though they have a plastic base. Let's take a look at the other one that I got here. I'll go ahead and open that one up. For some reason, like the cellophane they wrap these things in is really tough as well. Man, I don't know what's going down upstairs, but it sounds like my wife and the kids are just straight up having a brawl. So that's fun. I don't know if you can hear that. Hopefully not. All right, and then we got this right here. Nissan Skyline 2000 Turbo GTES. I think this one's a bit newer, and this is number 8. I don't know what the numbers mean, so I'm the wrong person to ask there. 1/63rd scale. Looking pretty good. This one's in black and gold. Oh, it looks nice. Quite nice. I'm glad the wheels actually look gold and don't look like pukey yellow, which is often the case when you get gold that's not metallic. Lots of suspension travel on the back there. This one you do get inserted details for the headlamps and the whole front, actually. And it does look really good. Looks quite good up there. And you get a detail on the back, too. So, quite nice. Again, plastic wheels, plastic base, like we would expect. This does have opening doors as well. And that's the other thing. Nobody really does the opening parts quite like these guys do as far as fit and finish. They typically are quite perfect. And like I said, they bridge a gap. Like, it's kind of like adult collectible, yet it's, still, a kid could definitely play with these without destroying them quickly. And they just look nice. They got a nice feel to them. That's why I like this Tomica premium line. I'm not like a stickler all the time for 100% 1/64 scale. I do, of course, basically collect whatever they call it, the 3-inch diecast, right? So I do collect other things. I mean, obviously, if it's in 1/64 scale, I prefer it to be, straight up 1/64 scale. But these Tomica premiums, like I said, run a little bit larger, but they're not that far off, and they do look really, really good. I actually like this one, I think, better than the Ken Mary. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments. I got a lot of different versions of this Ken Mary Skyline. I got like maybe a Konami of it. I'm trying to think of what all I have of it. I might have a Kyosho of it. But it's pretty cool. All right, let's move on. So that's your Tomica Premium. Let's go to the Tomica Limited Vintage, which are, of course, the ultra premium line from Tomica, from Tomitek. So these are 1/64 scale, true 1/64 scale. There you go, right there, 180 SX Type 2. So LVN 235A, which means this is the first version, or version A, of this tooling, is what that means. Yeah, let's get a little flathead here to pull out the box. Pop that out. And again, I have not peeked at these. This one comes with the side mirrors pre-attached, which is great. You don't always get that with Tomica Limited Vintage. Sometimes they make you do a little work if you want side mirrors, which is annoying. All right, I like this a lot better out of the package, honestly, than it looks in the picture. I didn't really like the way the ride height looked in the picture, and the stance actually in person is much better, I think. So that looks pretty nice and black. We're going to go ahead and open it up. Of course, open up the white one. So get that one open here off camera. You're going to be able to see a lot more details, I think, on this white one. Not much else to look at in the box besides a white picture of the car. And obviously it has a B there instead of an A, so LVN 235. If I can get this back together here. And of course I saved the boxes for the Tomica Limited Vintage stuff. But yeah, this looks pretty fantastic. It does have suspension. I don't want to really get my fingerprints all over it. It's hard to get them off of black cars. Metal base, metal body, of course, metal all around. No opening features, but it does have inserted details for headlights. They always provide a license plate on these two, and typically it will be blank. And honestly, I think they do that because it is for people that have owned these cars. Like maybe you could actually print a decal of your own plate on there and put it on the back. I think that's why they leave them blank. Otherwise, why wouldn't they just put a random number on there? I don't know. And then here's this guy right here. She looks nice and white. So yeah, you can see the detail. Oh, we got a little bit of a wonky wheel. That's not common for TLV. That's kind of weird, actually. What's doing that? Oh, we got a clipped tire. Or flashing on the wheel. That is definitely just odd for Tomica Limited Vintage. I don't think I've ever had one with a wheel issue like that. The tire is, when it got clipped off, it's got like a cut in it right there. It causes it not to rotate very well. That's very odd for Tomica Limited Vintage. I've never had that happen to any of my pieces from them. And I do own quite a few of these now. Almost 150, I think I have in my collection now. But other than that, this thing is quite excellent and a lot better looking than I thought it looked in the images that I saw. Mostly because the stance looks a ton better in person than it did in pictures or pictures of the box. It looks quite good. So I definitely am digging these two. Glad to add those two to the collection. Very, very nice. Very awesome. All right, so let's get to the main event here. We got the 412. I guess we'll start with the one in blue. Again, it's an oddball Ferrari. We'll take a little walk around the package quick here. So we do have an opening hood feature as illustrated. This one's the blue one. Again, it shows the opening hood there. Take a look at the back of the package. Not much to look at here that I can read anyway, except for we got the Ferrari licensing, some stuff here about licensing, some other gobbledygook, and of course the front of the package, which all the Ferraris have this similar packaging with some foil printing and stuff like that. Very fancy stuff. Here's where I'm talking about where they make you do some work if you choose to do it. I never will and never do. I'm not going to attach these side mirrors, so this is going to come without the side mirrors and without the plate attached. A little weird, but there's that. This must be explaining some stuff, explaining that the hood opens, explaining, I'm assuming, how to attach that, which you'd have to provide your own glue. It's not going to snap in. And I'm never going to put glue on these things. Here's probably some stuff about the car, I can only assume. There's that. I don't know what that means. And yeah, so it comes with this little fancy card, and then it's nestled in a kind of a blister pack packaging kind of thing. Underneath this package, in here, you'll find some literature, just some random Tomica stuff, and then that's where you'll find your license plate and your side mirrors. Those will stay in that bag. And then I'm going to go ahead and lift off this. And we're going to take, the car is in like a little piece of cellophane inside of here. I do not want to get fingerprints all over this model. I should be wearing gloves actually, but I'm not. Just because these are so expensive. Now these are really, they roll, they're great, they're awesome, they roll, they're really display pieces. It's not really something you want to spend a lot of time rolling around. They would look cool though, taking really good pictures of them, stuff like that. It's just, it kind of is a shame honestly that they don't come with the, and I've complained about it before, the side mirrors like pre-installed. So this is pretty awesome. It's actually a very long car for a two-door. In comparison, like here's your Nissan, a lot shorter. I'm not really very familiar with this real Ferrari. It's obviously not like a hugely popular model. Almost got a Jaguar feel to it, but you got your inserted details for the taillights. This one has a red interior. It's got painted headlights up here. I don't know if I'm a big fan of that. I wish those were inserts. Quite detailed under there though. You got your little Ferrari horse up there. So let's take a look under the hood. Hood opens really easy. We got some details in there. Looks pretty good. I would not going to say it's the best that Tomica Limited Vintage has done as far as detail under the hood goes, but it is pretty crisp. So that's good. And that opens and shuts really well, and that's obviously a good thing. The bottom is like a flat black. We have painted exhaust pipes, or painted mufflers or whatever. Does have the suspension. The little yellow dot in the center hub of the wheels is really cool. We got a little indicator right there. Very, very little printing right there. So some really good details. Crystal clear plastic that they use for the windows, which is fantastic. And then you got lots of details on the interior of the car that you just probably can't see on camera. Bunch of good little details there. Little Ferrari wording right there. And you can see my fingerprint now in the clear coat of the car. We're going to have to wipe that down before we display the vehicle. But very, very, very cool. So pretty awesome. Not my favorite Ferrari that they've come out with, but it's kind of cool to see this one is one that they've selected. So, you know, they've done the Testarossa, they've done the F40, they've done like the GTBs, they've done, you know, Daytona, some other iconic Ferraris. This one's kind of maybe an odd choice, but pretty cool nonetheless. You don't really need to see this packaging, but it's the same except for we got what would be a black car instead of a blue one. They did not release this casting in red yet. And I wonder if they will. I'm sure this Ferrari has come out in red. Usually the first ones they put out are in red, so I'm kind of surprised that they didn't put it out in red right away and they chose blue and black. But like I said, I'm not familiar with the real car, so I would imagine it came out in red, but I don't know for sure. Probably should have looked that up. But I'm not really a Ferrari connoisseur. I am a fan, but so this one's in a gloss black. And I'm going to tell you right away, if you are making a choice between one or the other, pick the blue one. Okay? Just do it. For one, the blue is a metallic color. And it's got less of a chance of having paint rashing issues or anything like that in the future. But the black one does look pretty stunning. Nice details on there. Very, very nice. Taillights, tailpipes. And I just feel like I'm going to get fingerprints all over this thing. I'm in a basement, and it is kind of damp down, with kind of humid down here. I've got a dehumidifier that I run in here 24/7, so it does usually keep it pretty dry, but it's been really, really humid here lately. Mosquitoes are just loving it. And, yeah, but it does, so I just feel like my hands are a little clammy, too. So I don't want to touch this thing too much. But it is nice. It's beautiful. Like I said, not the best Tomica Limited vintage Ferrari. So if you are going to pick one Ferrari to get, if you can get the F40, I definitely would recommend that. Or the Testarossa. One of those two, I think, would be your best bet, maybe. But this is really cool, too. All right, and that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching another Diecast Weekly episode. That's a nice little pair right there. So, yeah, that's going to be it. We'll cut her. Thank you guys for... And it ended up being long. You know, who would have thought? All right, so thank you guys very much for watching. Check out another episode. Check out the playlist. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that fun, happy stuff. And you all have a great day.